Hey guys, what's going on? Moo here. We are back with another episode of Questing Mayhem Hardcore Edition, and we have a fair amount of quests that we are going to get accomplished today, and the first of them are going to be done in literally like 30 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and get all the casts already completed. They technically are, they just haven't been picked up. But first things first is I do need to grab the stone full guard. So this is going to be one of the this is probably one of the only patterns that you can't just create yourself. You have to go out and find it, and the best way to find it is to go find a village. And I just so happened to finally come across one way down over here. So let me pop over there real quick, and I can show you what you actually need to do. So this village is like almost 1,300 meters away. So when you get to any of the villages in this pack, you're going to want to try to look for these kind of buildings that are more square with the fences on their roof. Okay? And when you do so, you go inside, you'll see that you have the tinker's tables and the pattern chest, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, you're going to want to start searching around just to see if you can find it. And usually you will find a fair excess of patterns. So if you don't want to craft them yourself and you just want to do the full adventure of it, then this would be the way to find the patterns. The only thing is that it's easier just to craft every single one of them and then try to find the village so you can get the full guard pattern. So now that I have that, I can teleport myself back home. We can go ahead and get this started. We will get that going real quick. I am using uh, the aluminum brass for the actual casts. In my opinion, it's a lot cheaper than sticking with doing gold, but gold is definitely something else that you can do. So here's all of the casts. I'm not going to keep them in any particular order. We're just going to basically grab them and then we're going to stuff them all in here. There we go. So we have all the casts. Hopefully without me holding this book, it still got all. It did not. Oh, you suck. Okay. Let's try that again. Stick my hammer in there real quick. There we go. So literally just craft the wooden casts, get a bunch of the stone cutouts, place them on your actual tables, get the casting going, boom, you're done. It's very quick and simple, and you don't have to worry about it too much. I will go ahead and mention that some casts will need to be uh, created for crafting purposes. I would highly recommend just doing a basic cast. Don't worry about doing any of the stone cutouts to craft it. Literally just get the aluminum brass into the Tinker's Construct smelter and then just smelt out a cast and boom, there you go. How many of them you're going to need, I don't remember off the top of my head. It has been a good while. So I'll go through and claim all those later. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's just a bunch of nuggets and stuff. So I can worry about that later. In the meantime, we do have a couple of quests that I did go ahead and basically complete. So like for instance, I got Crucible uh, crafted and made. We're gonna grab this florb. And then we're gonna take this florb and we are going to put it in. I can't put it in the drum. Okay, I'll worry about that later. Uh, if you don't know what florbs are, florbs literally have a bucket worth of some kind of a liquid. So like we got that witch water. Uh, the witch water, didn't I? I thought I got the witch water. In my backpack? No. Oh, there it is. So like we got the florb of witch water. We now have a florb of lava. There's florbs of water and any other liquid can be attained, but it's usually very rare to find. So those are completed. Seeds have already been completed once before. I'm going to get this watering can because that will actually be useful a little bit later. Then need to go ahead and start grabbing some of this stuff. I'm gonna need you. So there's our wheat. We're gonna grab more wheat. Then we need to craft 5 pieces of bread. There we go. We got a 5 bread, which makes no difference to me. Wheat. Then I've already gotten the carrots. We get a carrot cake. I'm gonna get more carrots. I'm not gonna worry about the carrot juice. Then we have our potatoes. We'll grab more potatoes. We even get a potato cannon. It's a fun little weapon, but it's not necessarily like an absolute necessity that you need. I think it is used for a crafting recipe later. Don't quote me on that entirely. We will find out at a future point. I'm going to place that carrot cake right there. In fact, we're going to eat a little slice real quick. Uh, okay, so those are good. That's going to be basic. So more than likely, that's probably going to be glass. I don't know what we're going to get out of the good ones. We'll get more potatoes. I've already gathered some melons. I need the other melons, and this is where we might end up getting caught for a little bit, because I don't believe I will have enough to make the 16. No, I am a couple of slices short. Has one grown out yet? Yes. I need 7. When you break, please give me 7, otherwise I'll be sitting here for a few. Aw, it gave me 6. You suck. Okay. So we're gonna be sitting here for a few while we wait for the um melons to grow back real quick. So in the meantime, actually, you know what? No, because I need to keep those handy for the time being. Uh, think I need the tiny potato mask for a crafting recipe later. So we'll go ahead and keep it. I'm gonna put the crucibles in there for now, as well as the watering can. Let's go ahead and drop off the clay. I have the bone meal going into food prep. There's the glistening. Toss the cobble in there. Okay. Then we will put those in the way for now. Pumpkins will be easy to complete. Wait, I needed 16. It's counting 15 as 16. I think I just found a small little glitch. I'm perfectly okay with this. Uh, I don't remember if that enchanted book is anything special. So I'm going to grab the melon seeds. Then obviously we got pumpkins. I'll just grab more pumpkin. Yeah, I'll just grab more pumpkin. Then we've got the sugar cane. There's full stack in my inventory. We're going to grab the other 16. Then I need to craft a stack of sugar. That's why I went ahead and pulled this out into my inventory. So there we go. We got our stack of sugar. I will get the sugar cane seeds. I can use those later. Then we need to craft a pumpkin pie. The pumpkin pie has not been changed crafting recipe-wise at all. So that is a plus. Let me go ahead and empty things out real quick. I will need some sugar. I will need an egg. I will need a pumpkin. There's our pumpkin pie. We get a whole stack of pumpkin pie, which is actually going to be good. And I'm going to grab these 4 buckets of milk. Just because that's more buckets. We can't have too many buckets. I totally did not mean for that to happen like that. Sorry, there's going to be some inventory adjustments throughout this entire episode. Finally, we're going to go ahead and take care of these golden apples. Now, the golden apple, if you're thinking basic Minecraft, you literally get an apple and you get gold and you make it that way. Well, it's different. So I'm going to need both of those. I'm going to need an apple. At least we're not doing the pin pineapple apple pen thing. So first we need to craft an iron apple. And I can already hear y'all going, wait, what? Yes. So first we have to craft the iron apple, then we need 8 iron blocks, and we need to craft the enchanted iron apple. Well, after the enchanted iron apple, we then get the gold ingots. We craft the gold apple. And boom, we have a gold apple. I'm going to, honestly, I'm just going to grab more of the iron blocks. That might sound like a waste, but honestly, I can use more iron than gold at the moment. Gold is not a massive necessity at this current moment in time. It will be soon. It will be very soon. But right now it is not. But finally, we take our gold apple, we take the 8 gold blocks, we craft the enchanted golden apple or the notch apple. It does unlock another one, another quest in a different area. So one more thing I should probably mention about this is that some quests do not open based on that one quest being unlocked somewhere else. Some of those quests that need to be unlocked that unlock different chains of quests require 2 other, or I think one of them is even a 3 other quests to be completed in order for it to open. So just because something says it requires 1 quest somewhere else does not actually mean that it will immediately open up another quest line. So we're going to grab more of the iron blocks, because like I just said, I want the iron blocks. So at this current moment in time, our first page of the quest book is 100% completed. The only thing that is not even remotely completed is this enchantment table. So real quick, let's see what it would actually take to craft an enchantment table. So first we need an enchanted book. Maybe I should have took that enchanted book a little while ago. That don't matter. But we also need these diamond lattice. We also need 4 obsidian tile. Obsidian tile is 9 obsidian crafted together to make the block. See? So 9 obsidian, so on and so forth. So 9, 18, 27, 36 blocks of obsidian go into helping craft the enchantment table. The diamond lattice, we need a fair amount of diamonds. This used to be a different recipe. It used to be a lot harder. I currently have 10 diamonds. I need at least one more diamond that I knock down into diamond nuggets, and then I can craft the 2 diamond lattice that I need in order to go for the enchantment table. But I will need an enchanted book, so I kind of screwed myself slightly because I didn't take that enchanted book from the quest reward a little while ago. Otherwise, we'd be able to do this. But live and learn. I messed up. It's okay. I'm not beating myself up on it. I'm just going to accept that little L, and we will continue on down the line. So, for the brief time, let's check out these reward bags. So I got a pair of shears. That's actually not too terrible, but I already have a pair of shears at the moment. Did this just say legendary? It did. What do we get from this one after I open a chest? Pressurized fluid conduit. Okay, that's actually a pretty good grab. "16 transfer pipes. That's also not a bad grab. And here's some glass. Because glass, obviously. More glass. And needle gun ammo. I will not be using any of the railcraft stuff, so this is literally useless to me. I don't even think it's used in any crafting recipes that I'm gonna need. My bad. It is Mine Factory Reloaded. My bad. So I will chuck that away. It is nighttime. We will sleep real quick. Alright. In terms of other quests, though, we did, like I said, we opened up some areas for questing. We have exploration, which is when we go into like other dimensions, like the Nether and stuff like that. And these are going to be all the Nether ores that we're going to have to grab. So that can be something a little bit later. I'm not going to the Nether just yet. So I'm not worried about that too much at the moment. Here's where we get into the all the crops and stuff. This is actually not that hard to get into at the moment. The only thing is that the ones that deal with like diamonds and emeralds and gold and iron, all that, you need uh actual ore blocks under the soil in order for it to grow. So this one will be the more difficult one to go after because for me personally, I like to have all of these specific ones in 3x3 plots. So I will be taking it upon myself to start setting aside 9 of each when I finally get a pickaxe to Silk Touch, and then we can progress further into that area. We also have Industrial Revolution. This is where we're going to get into some generators. These generators, if you happen to go watch one of my old playthroughs of this pack with some friends, it is extremely fun. It is the best thing in this pack. It is absolutely not grindy what so frickin' ever, said no one in the history of ever playing Questing Mayhem. That will be something that is progressively done over the course of many episodes. Because you have to use generators to craft generators to then craft even more generators that craft even more generators. So you might think, oh, well, you just craft the one generator to start with and you never have to craft that one again. No, you need like hundreds of just survivalist generators to progress through the entire thing. And then not to mention there's the three tiers of the generators. So it's like to craft the times 64 survivalist generator, you need 8 of the times 8 survivalist generators. But in order to craft that one, you need 8 of the regular survivalist generator. So in order to craft the times 64 survivalist generator, you need a full stack of regular survivalist generators. You see what I mean? You need to craft generators to craft more generators to craft even more generators to craft even more generators. It's fun. It's not frustrating at all. And I'm going on a little rant. I apologize. Sorry. Honestly, Industrial Revolution is probably my favorite quest line in this entire pack. Um, just because I say it's grindy to do it, but at the same time, I just really, really like that whole line of quests because it's actually very decently made. When Mantic made this pack, like I understand his mythology when it came down to crafting or to creating that line, and for me, it's like perfect. All right, so I did end up going ahead and crafting a copper chest. I've actually crafted several copper chests now, and I've actually crafted several iron chests now as well, just because I've already gotten myself some hoppers. So I don't want that compact chance cube, so I'm forced to grab a reward bag, and I really don't even want the reward bag because you've already heard me ranting about reward bags in a previous episode. I think in the last two episodes I said something about it in both of them. But this actually jump starts some of the ores that we actually need to set aside and collect. And I still have some copper and iron, so I'll just make sure to keep 9 aside for both of those. Amber, I don't care really too much about that. That's a block of iron. That's actually it's a minorly decent pull, but again, in the grand scheme of things, it's low mid tier level. Then I get the hiccups. Also another thing. So these obsidian tiles, they're farmable. So in the description of this episode, and in future episodes as well, I'm gonna have the seed of this world posted. So if y'all want to play this pack and y'all want to use the same seed, you will have access to the seed, and then you can spoil me on things if you want to, because honestly, that's okay. So throughout the world, you will have little structures like this, spread around everywhere. Um, some of them will have mobs that spawn with them, and they're fairly difficult to deal with because they kind of start swarming at you. Um, but that was a pretty big lag spike for a second. Um, but overall, it's a good resource because it gives you a bunch of obsidian. So I think the actual radius of it is like 7 by 7 by 7. So 7 times 7 being 49, times that by 7, that's over 300 blocks of either obsidian or obsidian tile, and it will be mixed between the two, so that you could get more obsidian tile than obsidian, or vice versa. The other thing is that if you break any of these capstones, they explode. Can they do damage to you? If you're close enough, yes. If you're not close enough, you don't have to worry about it too badly. Uh, But I always end up trying to mine those out when I do find them. It will be important to have one, if I'm not mistaken, later on down the line, but they're very common that you don't have to worry about it too much. You also want to be careful around them because they do have those little aura orbs on them that we will be using for Thaumcraft. Alright, I believe this might do it for this episode because we accomplished what I wanted to accomplish originally for this episode, and that was just to go ahead and completely finish off the basics of uh, our questing book. So in terms of the book itself, we have completed 1 page out of 13. But in terms of how many quests comparatively, if you look on the right part of the book real quick, it says 771 quests in total. That's just for this book. That's not encompassing the entire pack. It's just this book. Remember, because there are 3 quest books. We've unlocked 73. We've completed 66. There are 7 open right now that I can complete if I finish them off, and I have 32 that I need to gain the rewards from, and that's from all of the casts. So, I will be playing some more on this world. I will be doing some more uh, prepping and grinding and getting things set up. This area will get even larger than what it is right now, just because I will be essentially flattening out a good portion of the actual mountain for other things that will be needed in hopefully the near future. So like whenever we get into mystical agriculture and or no, not no, is it mystical agriculture? Uh, what the crops that I was showing earlier, whichever one that one's from. Then there's like the Pam's harvest and all that kind of stuff. There's also a bunch of the machines that we're gonna need later on, and yeah, I'm gonna need a very substantially large area to work with. So I'm one of those people that will flatten out an area and work on that flattened area. Um, but in the meantime, I hope y'all did enjoy this episode. If you did, please leave a like. If you have any comments, questions, concerns about the pack so far or future, put them down in the comment section below. And on that note, let me address 2 comments that I had posted on the last episode and probably the first one. I don't remember which one's which. So editing is somewhat out of the question just because the laptop I am on is actually not a gaming laptop. This laptop was originally for school. I just happened to be able to get modded Minecraft on this laptop. Uh, and in terms of like adding any kind of mod pack enhancements like textures and stuff like that, that cannot be done as well because like I just mentioned, this is not a gaming laptop. My laptop will literally not be able to do any of that on here. So I have to stick to 100% base graphics. And even though I say 100% base graphics, I had to lower graphics scale uh, to fast and lower the FPS just so I could have a smoother gaming experience. So I'm not getting extreme massive lag spikes or frame rate issues like I was having in the first 2 episodes. So if that did take down the quality of the video, that is why. But I'm trying to make it a better experience, not only for me playing the game, but for y'all as the viewers as well. So just addressing those 2 comments that I had on either one of the 2 previous episodes. So anyway, on to my closing words. Like if you liked the video, comments, questions, concerns down in the comment section below. Check out the description where I will be, where the old playthrough with the friends that I had for this pack, if you want to check that out, as well as the seed of this world in case you want to play along with this seed as well. And I will also post those in the first 2 episodes. So, other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all kind of stuff, and I will see you all in the next upload. Later, guys.